5 signs you're a chosen one living through spiritual toxicity. It's a huge gift. Imagine being born into a world wrapped in illusion, a world where the air itself feels heavy with unseen battles, a world where truth hides behind layers of noise. You and I, we didn't just stumble into this existence, we were sent here on purpose. And if you are listening right now, it's because something ancient and sacred inside you has started to remember. You have seen the cracks in the facade. You have felt the invisible wars raging around you. You have endured the pressure of spiritual toxicity so thick it could have crushed you. And yet you're still standing. Stronger, sharper, wiser. Today, together, we are going to uncover the 5 undeniable signs that you are a chosen one living through spiritual toxicity, and why, despite how heavy it feels, it is one of the greatest gifts you will ever receive. The first sign is that you feel an overwhelming sense of not belonging, even in places where you should. From a young age, you looked around and thought, why does everyone seem to accept things that feel so wrong to me? You saw the lies that passed as truth, felt the emptiness behind the smiles, heard the dissonance in the words people spoke. You tried to fit in, but the mask never sat right on your face. You couldn't unsee the injustice, the manipulation, the spiritual laziness. What you didn't realize at first is that this feeling of not belonging wasn't a flaw, it was a feature. It was the divine marking you, setting you apart, tuning your soul to a higher frequency so that you could one day become what the world desperately needs but doesn't yet know how to ask for. Let me ask you this: if you had fit in perfectly, if you had been comfortable in the toxicity, would you have ever sought something greater?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The second sign is that you have endured betrayal by those you trusted most, especially in spiritual or high vibration spaces. And this is one of the most brutal tests. You came with a pure heart, seeking truth, seeking community, seeking God, and instead, you found people who used spirituality as a mask for control, ego, and greed. It broke your heart. You questioned everything. You wondered if you were naive, if you were foolish to believe in the good. But listen closely. That heartbreak was not a sign that you were wrong to trust. It was a sign that your spirit is still pure in a world that has learned to weaponize even the most sacred truths. You didn't lose your way, you were being shown the difference between real light and counterfeit light. You were being trained to see beyond appearances, to discern spirits, to walk with wisdom. And now, well, now you can spot spiritual toxicity from a mile away. You have become immune to the shiny traps that snare others. That is priceless power. The third sign is that your suffering hasn't made you bitter, it has made you fiercely compassionate. After everything you've witnessed, the hypocrisy, the betrayal, the manipulation, you had every right to shut down, to harden, to become cynical. But you didn't. Somewhere deep inside, you made a different choice. You chose to feel it all, to grieve it all, but not to let it poison you. You chose to keep your heart open, even when it hurt. And because of that choice, your heart now carries a power that cannot be faked, the power of true compassion born from true suffering. You can sit with others in their pain without judgment. You can love people as they are, not as they pretend to be. You have become a safe place in a world full of masks. Do you understand how rare, how radical, how revolutionary that is? The fourth sign is that your inner world has become your sanctuary. While others still chase external validation, still seek approval from broken systems, you have been forced by betrayal, by loneliness, by divine design to build a home inside yourself. You have learned to hear your own soul louder than the noise of the world. You have learned to trust the quiet voice of truth within you more than the shouting voices outside. And because of that, you are becoming unshakable. Situations that would have destroyed you a few years ago now barely move you. You can walk into chaos and carry peace. You can stand in storms and remain rooted. You have found the kingdom within, and from there, nothing outside has ultimate power over you. The fifth and final sign is that you are now a living disruption to spiritual toxicity. Your very existence unsettles the false systems. Your authenticity exposes their performance. Your presence calls out their emptiness without you even needing to speak. You walk into rooms and the masks start to slip. You speak truth and the lies start to tremble. You refuse to play the games, and so the games start to lose their grip on everyone around you. You are no longer just surviving spiritual toxicity, you are neutralizing it. You are a living antidote. And the beautiful, terrifying, incredible truth is this: you were always meant to be. Now, I want to ask you something soul deep, something that only those ready for their next level will dare to answer. If you fully embraced that you were designed to disrupt the spiritual toxicity of this world, not by fighting it, but by outshining it, how would you live differently starting today? What conversations would you stop having? What rooms would you stop shrinking in? What dreams would you finally dare to unleash without apology? Because the truth is, being chosen isn't about being better than others, it's about being so true to who you are that every false thing around you either transforms or flees. We didn't come here to fit in. We didn't come here to be liked. We came here to liberate ourselves first, and then, by the sheer gravity of our freedom, to liberate others. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every lonely night was refining you for this. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are anointed. You are activated. You are unstoppable. And now, the only thing left to do is to rise not in arrogance, but in sacred, undeniable, world-shifting power. The sacred alchemy, how chosen ones turn spiritual attacks into higher ascension. You and I, we have been forged in a fire few can comprehend. Every spiritual attack, every moment of betrayal, every wave of confusion was not sent to destroy us, it was sent to awaken us, to strip away the illusions, to call forth the true power hidden beneath every scar. And now, as we step deeper into this journey, we must confront the sacred truth. Spiritual toxicity was never our enemy, it was our initiation. It was the catalyst that forced us to become who we were always destined to be. When you start to see every attack as an activation, every hardship as a higher calling, you step into a level of mastery that very few ever reach. You stop living like a victim of unseen forces, and you start living as one who commands the unseen with authority, grace, and unstoppable faith. The first transformation that happens when we alchemize spiritual toxicity is that we reclaim authority over our inner world. No more giving our peace away to the chaos around us. No more letting other people's projections dictate our worth. We realize that while we cannot control every storm, we can control whether we allow the storm inside of us. Toxic environments, toxic leaders, toxic systems that used to trigger us, used to throw us into doubt or despair. But now we use every trigger as a teacher. Every moment of toxicity becomes an immediate opportunity to root deeper into our own truth, to anchor ourselves even more firmly in the divine center within us. Imagine living like that, impervious, untouchable, not because you are numb, but because you are rooted. The second transformation is the elevation of discernment. Through enduring spiritual toxicity, our spiritual sight sharpens. We are no longer fooled by appearances. We can feel the energy behind words. We can sense the motives behind actions. We can recognize when love is real and when it is merely performance. This is not paranoia, it is wisdom. It is spiritual maturity. It is the gift of seeing with the eyes of the Spirit rather than the illusions of the flesh. We move differently now. We choose our mentors differently. We build relationships differently. We walk into rooms not asking, will they like me? But knowing, I will see clearly who is aligned with the real me. Discernment becomes our sword and our shield. The third transformation is the transmutation of wounds into weapons of light. Every betrayal became a deeper layer of empathy. Every false teacher became a reminder to lead with integrity. Every spiritual attack became a reminder to armor ourselves not with bitterness, but with wisdom and love. Our wounds no longer ooze pain, they radiate power. Every scar is now a source of authority. We can stand before others not as perfect beings, but as proof that survival is possible, healing is possible, thriving is inevitable. We become the living testimony that darkness never has the final word unless we lay down and let it. The fourth transformation is the mastery of energetic sovereignty. We no longer absorb the energy of every room we enter. We no longer carry the emotional burdens of others as if they are ours to fix. We move with spiritual boundaries so strong yet so compassionate that just by being ourselves, we elevate the vibration of our environments. Toxicity cannot stick to a soul that knows its own frequency. We don't lower our standards to meet others. Where they are, we rise and invite them up. And if they cannot or will not rise, we bless them and keep moving. Imagine living with that level of freedom. Imagine walking through this world knowing that you are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the spiritual temperature wherever you go. The fifth transformation is the divine acceleration of purpose. Spiritual toxicity forces clarity. It burns away distractions. It reveals our real mission. Many of us wandered for years, trying to find where we fit, trying to find a path that felt right. But after walking through the fires of betrayal, manipulation, and false light, we emerge with laser focus. We know now that we were not born to blend in, we were born to blaze a trail. We were not born to inherit broken systems, we were born to build new ones. Our purpose becomes non-negotiable. Our calling becomes undeniable. And because we have been so deeply broken open, we are able to carry a level of power, of love, of truth that transforms not just ourselves, but everyone we are called to touch. But here's the sacred paradox you must understand. Our ascent does not happen despite the attacks, it happens because of them. Spiritual toxicity was the crucible that purified us. It pressed us so hard that the false parts of us were shattered, and only the real, indestructible core remained. And now, because we have endured, because we have chosen love over fear, because we have said yes to the soul's calling even when it hurt, we have become untouchable in ways the world cannot comprehend. Now I must ask you a question that will echo through your spirit long after this video ends. If you truly believe that every spiritual attack was actually a sacred initiation into your highest destiny, how would you respond the next time darkness tries to touch your light? Would you cower in fear, or would you rise with a smile, knowing you are about to level up again? Because this is the truth. The darkness fears you more than you fear it. The toxicity tries to infect you because it knows you carry the antidote. The attacks come not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to the systems that profit from spiritual sleep. And now you are awake. You are aware. You are unstoppable. You and I are not here to fight darkness with darkness. We are here to shine so brightly that darkness has no choice but to flee. We are here to carry the torch of truth so high that others find their way home through our light. We are here to remember that every scar was sacred, every betrayal was blessed, every heartbreak was holy. And now our time has come. The sacred alchemy is complete. We are no longer just survivors, we are architects of a new world. The chosen one's crown, how those who survive spiritual toxicity become leaders of a new earth. You and I, we didn't survive all that darkness just to go back to living small. We didn't walk through betrayal, abandonment, confusion, and spiritual warfare just to return to the comfort zones we once knew. We came through it for a reason far greater than survival. We came through it to lead, to build, and to heal, to be the architects of a new earth, one founded not on fear, manipulation, and scarcity, but on love, truth, and limitless possibility. The crown you wear now is not made of gold, it's made of scars. It's made of nights you thought you wouldn't survive, but did. It's made of every no you turned into a deeper yes to your soul. It's made of every moment you chose to believe in light, even when darkness surrounded you. Leadership, for us, is not about titles or platforms. It's about presence. It's about carrying an energy so clean, so real, so anchored that people around us start healing without even knowing why. It's about showing others, not by preaching but by being, that it is possible to live awake in a world that profits from sleep. It's about walking with such clarity that others find their own path just by watching ours. We don't need to scream for attention. True leaders don't compete, they create. True leaders don't demand loyalty, they inspire freedom. But leadership comes with responsibility. Because we have seen the cost of false light, we are called to embody the real thing. Because we have witnessed the manipulation, we are called to lead with integrity so deep it cannot be shaken. Because we have experienced the pain of toxic spirituality, we are called to create spaces where souls can breathe, grow, and remember who they truly are. You and I are not here to replace old systems with slightly better versions. We are here to birth something entirely new. Now I leave you with this question, one that only the brave will dare to answer honestly. If you accepted that your survival was proof of your leadership, how would you begin leading today, not someday, not when you feel more qualified, but now, exactly as you are? Because the truth is, you are ready. You are needed. You are already enough. The crown is not coming, it's already on your head. The world doesn't need another perfect leader. It needs you in your rawness, your realness, your relentless love for truth. So rise. Not because the world gave you permission, but because the divine already appointed you. Rise, not because you have no fear, but because you know your purpose is bigger than your fear. Rise, because you are not just living through spiritual toxicity, you are leading the exodus out of it. The time is now. The earth is waiting. And you are the answer it has been praying for.